Mahalo everyone, and welcome to our brand new feature, Check the Deck. This is where we bring forth a series of decks that need improvement or could use advice from the community that we've either constructed or we've seen on the internet and we feel would like a better stage. They're not usually going to be hyper competitive, so feel free to use some of the creative ideas you have in helping us try and improve the deck's overall strategy. And I think I've got for you today a really good example, so we'll get straight down to it. This is a spiritual Scythe deck, so it's combining the use of the Guardian monsters, in particular just Iatos and Dread Scythe, and the Spirit monsters. So we'll get down to the Guardian monsters to begin with, and we have two copies here of Iatos. I was pretty sure we had a third. Yep, we do. It just got shuffled in. So we have 3 copies of Guardian Iatos, and obviously you want to draw that as soon as you can. And then in case anything goes into the graveyard and its effect gets activated, we have 2 copies of Guardian Dread Scythe, which is obviously the main kind of boss of the deck. Though in reality, obviously, Iatos has the most damage. So we're then running what is in essence a Spirit Engine, and of course to get Iatos off you have to have no monsters in the graveyard, so what better thing to do than have monsters that always go back to the hand at the end of the turn. So I'm running 3 copies of Aratama, along with 3 copies of Nikitama, and they're the main kind of engine of the deck that lets you get spirits and play more spirits. We have 2 copies of Razetsu, 3 copies of Yamato no Kami, so in case spirits do go into the graveyard, we have a way to get rid of them. An Izanami, 1 Dark Dust Spirit, which I remember from the Monarch days, and is very nice for just nuking the field if the opponent has a lot. And finally 3 copies of Yaksha, which can hopefully bounce spell and traps like Mirror Force. So that's it for the monsters. Onto the spells now, and we are running 3 copies of Creature Swap in here. So this is really handy. You play a spirit, you play Creature Swap, and at the end of the turn it comes straight back to your hand. I'm running 2 copies of Reaper Scythe, Dread Scythe. Again, this deck isn't supposed to be competitive, and if I were able to get this on Guardian Dread Scythe, that would be amazing and can do some serious damage. And we have 5 rogue spells here. We have Mystic Box, which works a bit like Creature Swap in this deck. Nobleman of Extermination for some back row hate. Monster Reincarnation, just again to manipulate the graveyard a little. Celestial Sword Iatos, which can be equipped to any monster, unlike most of the Guardian cards. Actually no, it can. It's unlike Dread Scythe, actually, the Reaper Scythe. And finally Half Shut for a bit of monster protection. On to the trap cards, and we have 3 copies of Legacy of Yatagarasu, so this combos very well with Creature Swap. So most of you would think of this just as a Jar of Greed, but we're trying to use the second effect, which is if your opponent controls a spirit monster, you get to draw 2 cards, so you get a Pot of Greed out of it. And that can obviously be really handy. We have 2 copies of Spirit's Invitation. So this effectively, it's a continuous trap, and if your spirits get returned to your hand, so you get to pick your opponent's monsters also to return to the hand. And then 3 largely defensive traps, Defense Draw, Compulsory Evacuation Device, and Dark Bribe. Again, these aren't probably the best traps we could be using, so feel free to comment and think, well, okay, which cards would really improve this deck. The deck owners would really appreciate this kind of advice, so we're trying to bring them into 2018, but still kind of keep an authentic, fun feel. So yeah, please check the deck. We will provide the deck list and so forth in the description. And yeah, go and check out our other videos that we've got linked to. We're going to have more Check the Decks for you coming up over the next few weeks, and yeah, we hope to read your comments in the future. Thank you very much.